From its ancient corners to its bustling streets, Beijing is a city in motion. And now, as it plays host to the 2008 Olympics, it's a city undergoing an architectural transformation. One building, the National Theater, is blazing the trail of Beijing's new modern look. In 1998, it was only a pipe dream. 3 world-class arts theaters crowned by a massive futuristic dome.
If people say it's like an egg, I say, okay, well, there's the potential of life inside it, but wants to burst out.
Building the National Theater is an engineering feat that tests the limits of technology and human endeavor. The dome alone weighs more than the Eiffel Tower, but there's not a single beam supporting it. Its beautiful simplicity belies complex mathematical equations and erudite engineering.
The challenge we face is that we have to succeed. Failure is not an option.
If they accomplish this feat, China's first ever National Theater won't just be a world-class showcase for the performing arts. It will be a man-made marvel. Beijing, China, a city of 17 million. Since the 1990s, it's undergone a massive construction spurt. Spurred on by the 2008 Olympics, Beijing has been transforming itself into a 21st century metropolis. In particular, 3 unconventional new buildings by foreign designers are turning heads and have gained world renown. The Z Crisscross, the Chinese Central Television Building. The Bird's Nest, the new Olympic Sports Stadium. And in anticipation of the 60 million visitors expected to arrive in 2008, the new Terminal 3 at Beijing Airport. But as the country's cultural center, Beijing has long needed another building for its citywide makeover, a state-of-the-art national theater.
Every world-class metropolis has its own national theater. Something seems amiss if there isn't one in Beijing too.
With a world-class performing arts venue, the country's capital can then properly host international stars, as well as showcase the best of China's talent. For some, this has come not a moment too soon.
The creation of the National Theater may breathe new life into one of Beijing's oldest art forms, Peking opera. It's not very popular with the young people today, but perhaps by it being hosted in this modern new venue, it will rejuvenate the art form. It certainly gives it an excellent modern showcase.
The idea of building a national theater in China's capital is not a new one. They've been waiting for nearly half a century.
There were plans initially during the Great Leap Forward in 1958-1959 to make a national theater one of the 10 projects for the 10th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic. But the other buildings that went up, 10 massive buildings in the space of 10 months, left the Chinese people exhausted. And so while the ground was cleared for the National Theater, it sat as an empty lot for about 40 years.
13 hectares of prime real estate, about the area of 17 football fields, have been earmarked for the National Theater, just 500 meters from Tiananmen Square, right in the heart of Beijing. To the north of Tiananmen Square is the Forbidden City, home for more than 5 centuries to the emperors of China. Other iconic buildings surround the remaining sides, including the Great Hall of the People, seat of China's national legislature. Situating the new National Theater here underlines the importance of the arts to Beijing's city planners. In April 1998, the wait is finally over. A planning committee announces a competition for its design. For the first time in China's history, the door is open for foreign architects to compete for a Chinese commission funded by the central government. With an enormous budget of $398 million, the competition attracts 44 entries from 8 countries, including 16 from China. City planners want the National Theatre to rival world-class venues like the Sydney Opera House and the Vienna State Opera. The Chinese set out an ambitious brief for the National Theatre. Not just one theatre, but 3 state-of-the-art performance spaces. There must be an opera space for ballets and Western operas, seating 2,400 people. A concert hall for symphonic performances with 2,000 seats. And a smaller theater space for plays and Chinese opera with 1,100 seats. Zhou Qinglin is the head of the planning committee.
Some think that since Beijing is the political center of the country, the building style should fit in with its surroundings, like Tiananmen Square and the Great Hall of the People. But some judges think using contrasting styles would work too.
4 finalists are shortlisted, with designs ranging from the conventional to the cutting edge. One of the architects is Frenchman Paul Andrew. Andrew has extensive experience designing large-scale public projects, like the Charles de Gaulle International Airport in Paris. He also has local expertise, having designed the Shanghai Pudong Airport.
Working in China is an experience which helps you. Of course, you know the people, you understand better what they feel, you interpret better their reaction.
Andrew takes a gamble. He comes up with a stunning design, setting the 3 performance spaces under one single roof, a super ellipsoid-shaped dome. 20,000 titanium panels will cover the exterior, except for the north and south faces, where glass facades will reveal the splendid interior. Surrounded by an artificial lake, the structure will appear to float. Spanning an incredible 213 by 46 meters, it will be one of the largest domes in the world. Rather than interrupt its sleek facade with any obvious entrances, the audience will enter the building through an 80-meter-long tunnel running beneath the lake. Andrew's design is as awe-inspiring as it is technically challenging.
When I first saw the design, I couldn't see how this could be built in the Tiananmen area. But after studying the concept, the underwater entrance leading into the huge space inside the dome, I was impressed by the genius of the design.
In August 1999, French architect Paul Andrew wins the competition to design China's first national center for the performing arts.
The acceptance of such a design by China's top leaders signifies reform and open-mindedness. This shows that even westernized concepts can be accepted, and more importantly, at such a sensitive location.
But not everyone agrees, and the decision creates a firestorm of controversy.
No one my age would like this theater. It ruins the whole layout of this area.
This is the monster. It's going to disturb everybody walking by and for the next 100 years.
Bowing to pressure from conservative architects and the public, an additional review of Andrew's plan is ordered. The building of the National Theatre is now caught between 2 opposing forces, those holding on to the past versus those representing the future. No one knows if this very modern marvel of architectural design will ever become a reality. August 1999. French architect Paul Andrew has won the competition to design China's National Center for the Performing Arts. Chinese and visiting Western performers can now look forward to a world-class venue to showcase their talents. His design for this multi-stage theater complex is a breathtaking giant ellipsoid-shaped structure. Some liken it to a water pearl. Others affectionately nickname it the egg.
If people say it's like an egg, I say, okay, why not? An egg? Yes, I like it. The simplicity, strong, and there's life inside. There's life, a potential of life inside it, but wants to burst out.
A vociferous group of detractors beg to differ and call it a blob, a UFO, and even say it looks like a Chinese tomb.
They cannot accept that the most important building in China is entrusted to a foreign architect, especially a building at such an important location, of such significance, on such a scale.
Supporters, on the other hand, think it's a design worthy of its position as neighbor to such iconic sites as the Forbidden City and Great Hall of the People.
I think instead of copying tradition, it's more important to create tradition. What we are doing today could become tradition tomorrow. Take the glass pyramid in front of the Louvre in Paris. That's a good example of contrasting the modern with the traditional to create harmony.
Despite all the controversy, Paul Andrew's design survives. And 16 months after winning the pitch, he gets the green light to build his futuristic egg.
When you enter a competition, you're not designing the building, you're just pushing your dream ahead.
It's one thing to dream, but in order to make it a reality, Andrew and his team will have to face a whole slew of challenges, from zoning restrictions to technical limitations, extreme weather conditions, even the impact of Beijing's geology, with its potential for earthquakes and its poor soil quality, threatens the plans. Each of these challenges must be met head-on. December 2001, construction begins. But this is no ordinary site. This is in the district of Tiananmen Square, the staging ground of many of China's historic moments. Nothing must overshadow its iconic landmarks, and that's a problem.
The regulations don't allow you to build higher than 46 meters, no higher than the Great Hall of the People nearby.